Racism causes conflict between human beings. All right, miscommunication, absolutely.
Different opinions.
Different opinions. Good. Yeah. What do you think, Hanan?
The way people look at things like that, the way that people accept it. Like some people accept things, some people, like some actions are not accepted at all. Like for example, when we talk about the chronicle of death,
Yeah, death foretold.
in my society or my culture, it is acceptable, or this is the normal that the girl has to be a virgin.
That's a norm.
Which
Yeah.
is in this society, it's weird.
Yeah. No. It used to be like that though. In the older, times, even here, it used to be like that. Yeah, the women always had to be chaste. Yeah, absolutely.
It's still until today,
Mhm.
even though people have many ways to run away from these, like they have, China
Yeah.
had they have solution for everything, so
Mhm.
we have solution for that too.
Yeah.
But still, the girl who's for doing that is nobody wants to marry her.
No.
The way people take it
Mhm.
or look at it, it's different. So it makes conflict.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Acceptance is a big thing.
The fixed mindset.
Absolutely. A fixed mindset. Yeah, like they're not open minded. It's closed. Yeah, closed minded. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. Anything here?
Oh, I mean, I had to say when I was the last one.
Yeah.
I was going to say that too.
Yeah.
But I just think one of my things is misconception.
Misconception.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But or to prejudge or to assume.
It's true. Absolutely. All right. Next question. So, how can conflicts be peacefully resolved? Discussion, talking. Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Listening.
Listening. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's best to just agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree.
Some people just are very hard headed and they won't bend.
No,
No matter
that's
what
true.
what you try to talk to fixed mindset. Yeah, something like that.
Absolutely.
Be open minded just
Mm-hmm. Be open minded. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
try to meet halfway.
Mm-hmm. Compromise. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And now you just finished writing all these letters. Gina, you had quite the reaction, just like hand motions and everything.
Because
Yeah.
I didn't, for the question, did I ever get treated with unfairness, disrespect, and that question?
Yeah.
And I was thinking more, like with my other job, I said, no, it was, it's a doctor's office, and, I didn't think I got, then I remembered something with one of the doctors on it, the husband of the wife I worked for. And I remembered him saying something, and I was writing that down.
Yeah. There you
It
go.
actually had nothing to do with the job itself.
Yeah.
So that was,
Yeah. It struck a light bulb. You got the ammo and you just like kept writing. Yeah. How did you feel after writing?
good. I wish
You
I
felt
could
good?
mail it to him.
Yeah. There you go.
The worst is to have a conflict with somebody that there's nothing you can do.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Because
Right.
my mother-in-law, I cannot do it.
No.
It's true. I mean, I
It's-
know if it was somebody else, they would probably have a fight, like a verbal fight,
Yeah.
or maybe fist fight. Because
Verbal or fist
she's stealing, so mean.
Oh my goodness.
But there's nothing you can do.
Mm-hmm. It's true. Somebody's
And I
so
think
close
that's
to
the
you.
worst.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's true. Yeah. How about here?
My letter? Mine was about my old job when I
Your old
worked in a
job.
bank.
Okay.
And I was only 19. I was a bank teller, and I had called this woman to my window, white lady. And she was just so mean to me, because back then it was 1985. I was the only black employee in the bank. So when she came to my window, she was so nasty to me.
Oh my
I went
goodness.
off on her, and I walked away from the window, and I told my supervisor, I'm not going to allow her to be disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
So my supervisor had to come over, finish out her transaction, But from that point on, I was so excited about my job. She put a damper on it, and then every time I saw her online, I purposely would not call her. I wouldn't take her.
Yeah.
And then when I went over to the platform, a lot of customers didn't want to come to me. Maybe they figured because I'm black, I don't know what I'm doing or whatever. A lot of them took a while to come to me. And then I had my daughter, and then you would imagine the gifts and things that these people had given me. But P.S. a 28-year career, I ended up being in charge of the branch where this woman was. And over the years, she tried to talk to me, but I never forgot how mean she was, and I never carried on a conversation with her. I wanted nothing to do with her.
Yeah.
So, but it also taught me that not everybody is racist, because I met some lovely people. I was taken to lunch and invited out, all things, but this woman just stood out. You know, but back then I worked on Long Island, and the girls would tell me that when African Americans come in, they would tear the applications up. You wouldn't even get the job. But I guess because I blend in and I can mix on, they hired me. And then I didn't even want to take the job. So I don't even want the job. I'm the only one. I don't want to work there, you know. But I went. It was only me and a janitor. And then as time goes on, you know, I felt a little comfortable. But now if you go back to that same brand, it's Twitch. It's predominantly African American and Hispanic.
Oh my goodness.
This is years ago. It used to be called Home Savings, but taken over 8 times now. It's Capital One.
Capital
But
One.
I worked up my way from a bank teller to a branch manager. But the goal, when the Capital One took over, every year they cut and cut and cut. So after 28 years, here I am now found without a job.
Yeah.
You get a package. And then my boyfriend's a teacher, so he said to me, "You think you maybe want to get into becoming a carer?" So that's how I landed in working as a carer. Because all those years I climbed myself up, but I never went to college. I didn't have a college degree. So when you come out of that, like, what do you do with yourself?
Yeah, yeah.
So here I am, fast forward now, as a carer, almost 4 years, and I'm in college working towards my associate. So it's funny how life changes. You never know what's going to happen, what your situation is. But she stood out to me being so mean, you know. It's because of the color of my skin, you know. So that really stood out to me. I wish I could mail her this letter.
28 years
There you
ago.
go.
Going back 28, I started 1985 to 2013. I worked for the company. We switched so many times, merges. So, but she really stood out. My first couple of weeks on the job.
Oh my
I think
goodness.
that
Look at
thing
that.
changed the beginning.
No, no, it's true. Just-
I didn't tell you, I didn't go through, tell you, basically, it was in the letter, but mine was, they had 2 children, one a girl and I have 2, and he had told his assistant that him and his wife did not agree of how I was raising my kids.
Wow.
Now, I found this out through her,
Yeah.
his assistant. I was like, oh, I raised my kids. I'm like, what did he say? And she said that they teach their kids to do things on their own and, they get this on their own and be responsible and this and that. I said, oh, really? I said, well, my 2 kids, I said, my oldest son, he went through the teaching fellow, he worked himself, do what he had to do, and today he's a special education teacher, in the school system, and he works District 75 in a high school, loves it, cares for these kids, and he's just truly involved in his children. And then, go to my second son, he worked himself through a warehouse and a company, and he is now the Havoc, air conditioning technician, where he's running projects at LaGuardia Airport, Victoria's Secret. So, for one of the largest AC companies in the world. All right, so my kids, but meanwhile, he's saying that his 2 kids, they're pulling in favors from any patients that they know to get his son into, what's it called up in Rhode Island, Brown,
Okay.
which is
Wow.
Ivy School, and then the daughter,
Right.
really now? Wow,
So it's
you
so
are
independent.
teaching your kids to get everything on your own,
Yeah.
on their own, but meanwhile you're pulling in all kinds of favors and doing, we didn't do anything like that. I mean, obviously if you help your kids, of course, but don't condemn other people.
Yeah.
Kids.
It's true. You were mad.
And I was like,
Absolutely,
Finally,
absolutely.
let me say this to you and your wife. Your kids are nothing but rich, spoiled brats.
Yeah. There you go.
But they are.
Yeah.
They truly are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No. Oh my goodness. That's now. Did anybody write in their letter towards like a parent or guardian? No. Now, wouldn't that be difficult if you had like some dispute with like your parent?
Oh, I've had those.
You've had those, yeah. But what if it's disputes that traumatize you? For instance, our poet that I was talking about, Anne Sexton, where her father like abused her.
My mother, she never. I can't say she did anything like that, but my mom, we don't have a good relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's because now I'm living with her again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's saying that two women can't stay in the same house, but you really can't. But she has said things to me that I find have been damaging.
Mm-hmm.
But like over the last few years, I find that I'm in a different headspace, so I don't allow it to really affect me like how it did before. Before, I felt like you know when they say I hate to be all over the place, but you know how when they say that sometimes when your father's not around as a woman, you tend to have like lower self-esteem or like you don't think yourself. I didn't have that issue. My father did pass away, but I felt like more of my insecurities came from my mom. My mother's a perfectionist. She's a literacy coach now, but she has a master's. She brought herself from here. She worked this job. You know, she basically did everything that the typical mother does to make sure that their children have. So she'll say, "Oh well, you didn't do this like I did." And I'm just like, "Okay, but that's because you had to do it, not me." Like she's always making herself look as if she was better at everything because I chose to do things a different way, and I never liked that. So like I thought it was more like a verbal abuse from her.
Verbal abuse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like now I was like a parent.
Yeah.
But that's wrong. That's hurtful.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I won't have to write her a letter. I just tell her.
No, yeah, no, you just tell her. No, absolutely. All right, so I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. We have a monologue that Gina's gonna read for us. Okay, it's an Anne Frank monologue. Do you guys know who Anne Frank is? Do you remember Anne Frank? A little girl. No, but you know who she is, right? Okay. Anne Frank was this little girl. She wrote a diary. She wrote in her diary, which was called Kitty, and this was during the time of the Holocaust. So she was running to hide from the Nazis, her and her family, right? So she would basically write in her journal everything she was feeling and all this, everything that was occurring. So then, she died at a young age too because of these terrible, horrific incidents that occurred with the Jews and Nazis. So her book was published. Her father decided to publish it, so her voice continued on. So that's basically who Anne Frank is. She was, I want to say about 11 or 12, maybe even younger than that, because her ages progressed with the journal as well. But interesting person. But we're going to have Gina read, so you'll learn a little bit more about her. Standing, so they can hear you here. Yeah, sorry. They don't have to see you, but they can hear you. Yeah. Or you can, stand here or here, anywhere. Mm-hmm.
Here is good.
Yeah, that's good.
This excerpt is based on the real-life story of the extraordinary 13-year-old Jewish girl who went into hiding with her family after the Nazi occupation of Holland. Diary of Anne Frank. The retelling of that story is an imaginative exploration of Anne's fanciful thoughts and dreams. Through these, she can escape, travel, prophecy, and even change the course of history. Holding up a yellow star. Morning star, evening star, yellow star. Amsterdam, 1942. The German army occupies Holland. They have applied terrible rules that we must obey. Rules for Jews. That applies to me. Jews must wear a yellow star. Jews cannot go on trains. Jews must not drive. Jews cannot go shopping except between 3 and 5. Jews must only patronize Jewish shops. We cannot go to the cinema, play tennis, go swimming. I cannot even go to the theater. And now, for the most frightening thing of all, they are beginning to round Jews up and take us away from our homes, our beloved Amsterdam. A few days ago, I celebrated my 13th birthday. My parents gave me this diary. It is my most precious possession. Yesterday, I was just an ordinary girl living in Amsterdam. Today, I am forced to wear this by our Nazi conquerors. Morning Star, Evening Star, Yellow Star. It was Sunday, the 5th of July, the day after American Independence Day. My mother pretended she wasn't crying. Then Father made the announcement. I remember his exact words. Listen, children, please, I must tell you something. We're going into hiding. When are we going into hiding? Will we be all right? What do I leave behind? What can I take? Getting her satchel, essentials, my school satchel. I'm going to cram it full. Hair curlers, handkerchiefs, school books, film star photographs, Joan Crawford, Betty Davis, Dina Durbin, Mickey Rooney, comb, letters, thousands of pencils, elastic bands, my best book, Emil and the Detectives, 5 pens. She smells a little bottle. Nice scent. Oh yes, mustn't forget my new diary. She has put all her things into her satchel, but she has not included her diary. We're going into hiding. 4 days later, it was Thursday, the 9th of July. I shall never forget that morning. It was raining. Imagine leaving your house, maybe forever. I'm so happy. In hiding, we no longer have to obey the Germans, the master race. No more dreaded rules for Jews. Goodbye, house. We'll always remember you. Thank you for everything. My brain is at a fairground, on a roller coaster, up and down, happy, sad, afraid, excited. My emotions are racing. My imagination spilling over. After all, I am a creative artist. I'm going to be a writer when this war is over. Diary. Can't go without my diary. She takes up the diary and opens it. You can be trapped in a box or in sadness, but you travel in your mind. You can be imprisoned in a basement or an attic, but you can go anywhere. In your dreams, you are free. The past, the present, the future. It is all open to you within my pages. Use me well, as herself. I promise I shall write everything down, everything, thoughts, events, dreams. I shall confide my secrets only to you. Let's go, my diary. I couldn't survive without my diary.
Good job.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, you're gonna win an award. Yeah, I like that. All right, excellent. All right, so I picked this because Anne Frank and our author Frank, Kafka, share something in common. They're both Jewish. All right, they have Jewish families and all that. The only difference was that Anne Frank had to endure the war and all that. With Frank Kafka, he didn't. He had to endure a different kind of war, which you'll see later on. But any thoughts with the monologue that Gina just read for us? I know we had it in the other class.
She had to leave everything.
She had to leave everything. Absolutely.
Take only a few things because the Germans were first putting them in ghettos and eventually killing a lot of them.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I just
Yeah, yeah.
think something like that would happen to her, also was connected somehow or alike with Hush Puppy, where they had
Ah,
to.
there you go. Yeah, I can definitely see a connection. I mean, they had to, even all of them, they had to leave behind everything, because, they wanted to stay in bathtub, right? It was like bathwater. Yeah, yeah, bathtub. All right. So yeah, they wanted to stay there, but staying there was everything that they did collect. It would be flooded. Remember, they'd lose everything. Not only everything in personal possessions, but more family because their community was a family, and a lot of them didn't survive that flood in the movie. So absolutely, there was definitely connection that could be made.
This is much worse.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
This, I mean,
absolutely.
just,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hmm.
horrible, killing people on, just because of, their Jewish.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it okay if I run to my meeting?
Oh yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Make sure you don't get wet.
We gotta get
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
I thought the man was gonna stop this morning.
If you want, you can take mine.
Oh, you have
All right.
When I was coming in, it was starting to rain. I was like, what is supposed to rain?
Yeah. No. So.
Being limited to specific places and specific times, this is they are lacking freedom. Like they have no choice.
Yeah, yeah. And
On their own time, they have to be available at like from 3 to 5 to do the
Yes.
shopping or whatever.
yeah, they had certain rules. Absolute, very strict rules. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, there was a lot that went on, during the Holocaust. It just shows society, which connects, with our course. Absolutely. I know Hitler, he only wanted people that have blonde hair, blue eyes, very light eyes. Like, if you didn't have that, automatically you would be assumed you're Jewish. So, yeah, there was a lot. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
Then it's like terrorism.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Racism back then, that blacks had to
Oh, yeah.
sit back of the bus, and the saying, the Jews couldn't go shopping only between this time and that time. And
Yeah.
so forth.
It's true.
Same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Living in basements or attics also is uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. It is, yeah, absolutely. And they had to hide, they had to be quiet. I mean, if you had an infant baby, that's even harder because you can't really control them. No, no. So there was a lot of risks. I mean, you remember because in our course we read this graphic novel called Mouse. Have you seen that? Yeah. So in the course that I was teaching during the spring, 20th Century American Lit, we read that graphic novel, which also was basically based on the author's father's experience with the Holocaust. And there was a lot of things that they had to do. They had to hide, like, in these garbage areas that they had. I wouldn't even know how best to describe it. But it looks like, those big garbage cans that we have,
Those metal ones.
the metal ones that the garbage truck has to pick up. And yeah, so it was something like that, but it was on the floor. So it didn't have, these have wheels, those didn't. So they would make like a hole or something, and it wasn't probably metal. So they would make a hole, and then they would be living like deep down just to hide. So they were hiding in like garbage just to make sure they don't get caught. So yeah, there was a lot of things.
Like the railroad in with the
Harriet Tubman.
Yep. with
Oh
the
yes,
railroad.
Harriet Tubman
The
and the railroad.
underground railroad.
Yes, absolutely.
Bottom line is, and it's just all so horrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
All
It's
humans.
unfair.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I just wonder what. Not that, no, I really don't wonder. I don't want to say that.
Yeah.
It just it boggles me to think that people feel like they can be the person to assert to somebody else what's right and what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have our opinions. Like, oh, like maybe you shouldn't wear that red shirt today or something.
Yeah.
But to dictate whether who dies or who lives or to say, like,
Mm-hmm.
you're better than this. I just never understood
Yeah.
how people think that they
No.
have that right.
true.
You know,
Absolutely.
to put
Mm-hmm.
that on somebody.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
No, no, absolutely not at all. No, that's true. Um, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of topics that we're hitting within these small courses of time. With this short course. Yeah, with society, but society, it always kind of repeats, just like fashion. It's always like the same problems that are occurring, with racism. It's just a repeat, you
I
know.
remember my global history teacher, he once told me, he said, history is just a story of conquest and reconquest. It's like so repetitive. It'll be the same thing. First we had the Conquistadores,
Yeah.
with that. Then we had the Native Americans, we had, like all these incidents where whole civilizations have grown up because,
Mhm. No, it's true, absolutely.
It's just a movie, but I went to go see the War Planet of the Apes.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Planet of the Apes,
And
I
yeah.
didn't think of that.
It was like an emotional roller coaster.
Mhm.
But I mean, I'm just saying to say it just goes to show how even in movies it shows how people like I said how they feel like they're just in the right
Mhm.
to make somebody feel like they're beneath them.
Yeah.
I mean, they feel like you're disposable, like what they'll make conform you to do.
Yes.
And it's like we think that animals or apes are like they're just animals.
Mhm.
But of course, in the movie they don't seem like that. But I really feel that animals have a certain amount of intelligence. I think that it hurts me when I see people beat their animals,
Yeah.
or mistreat the animals. It's
Mhm.
like they have feelings too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't like that. I'm not with the cruelty of animals. Now I'll kill an ant.
Yeah.
I'll swap a bee.
Yeah.
They have a purpose too, but they can hurt me. But I just feel so bad when I see that animals are treated like they have feelings too. So why should we treat them any less because they're animals?
Mhm.
Did you get to see Planet of the Apes?
No.
It's very,
Is it really
It's
good?
really good.
Planet of the Apes?
I think it was one of the better ones.
yeah.
Oh,
It was like
okay.
very, I guess they have a lot of symbolism.
Ah,
Yeah,
symbolism.
they
We're
did.
bringing literary devices.
I wasn't
This
even
is
thinking of
good.
it.
Because like during the
They
movie, I was
did.
like, oh, wow, and
Uh-huh.
my boyfriend, he pointed out, well, to me, a lot of the story was really similar to the story of Jesus. I
Uh-huh.
felt, but he pointed out that it was more like Moses,
Mhm.
and they put a lot of, those stories, and I guess for people who might know, their stories and history, and I said, oh wow, that's very similar to that, or I see what he's getting at.
I mean, not just saying that. I'm trying to think of it like how
Like
could you
Caesar was
incorporate it
very
too?
compassionate.
Yes.
He wanted to give the humans a chance,
He did.
as opposed to the other one,
Koba.
and he just was like, no,
I agree.
they'll never have a chance.
Mhm.
They're beneath us. They're and eventually Koba died because Caesar,
His hate.
his hate, yeah. But then
Sorry, I forgot my keys.
Caesar had that
No,
education. It's a really good movie. Like if you
really
see that,
is.
everything.
Planet of the Apes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Planet of the Apes. It's in the movie theaters right now.
But
Planet of the Apes.
Even in like just showing how people can have compassion, even in the end when Caesar, he had so much hate that this man. Oh, I don't want to say.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, no.
He had so much hate about what the man did
Mhm.
that he was willing to just sacrifice himself just
Yeah.
to get back at him. But then when he saw that he was then suffering,
Right.
he's like,
yeah.
you know what, that's
I'll
it.
let your
Right.
he basically realized your own hatred
Brought you
ended
to
up
this
killing
level.
him.
Yes.
Mhm.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It really was. Like I like the other ones. Like this is good.
Yeah.
But I really thought this one was good.
This one, they
Yeah.
really went all in.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They really did. They really did.
See, and you're seeing the literary devices
but
in action.
But if I hadn't really,
Yeah.
learned about all this,
Uh-huh.
You wouldn't even thought of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're thinking behind the scenes,
Yeah.
and now you notice they always go to references with Bible or Shakespeare.
But now,
See?
like I said, now that you brought it to my attention, I would see it like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I mean,
I wasn't even
every-
thinking of
I
it.
think every aspect of it, even at the very end,
Yeah.
was like,
Yes.
Yes.
All I know is I needed some wine afterwards. I was like, this
Yeah.
is crazy.
Oh my goodness, so funny.
It's like watching TV shows.
Yeah.
Because like now that I have the kids, I don't really get to go out much, so I have to get excited over the TV shows and the movies. That's my excitement.
Yeah. No, I just absolutely, absolutely. No. And who did you write your letter to?
Oh, this nasty nurse.
Oh, the nasty nurse, right? You
Um,
mentioned it.
this is terrible. Yeah. Basically, when I was 17, I had my first son,
Okay.
and the day that I went to the hospital, I was supposed to meet up with one of my girlfriends to go see a movie. It was my due date, but I was like, oh, nothing's happening. You know, I can miss it. She was like, no, please just go. Anyways, when I get there, the nurse downstairs in the clinic, she tells me that I was 4 centimeters. She's like, we have to admit you. And I was like, I wasn't ready. Like, like this baby yet. Yeah, like my mom's not here, my boyfriend's not here. Like, because in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, you're gonna put me with kids, and I'm gonna go have a baby. And the nurse downstairs, she was so nice. I remember she said, don't worry. I started crying. She's like, go ahead, call your mom, call your grandma. Like, they're admitting you. And I'm scared because I'm by myself. And they take me upstairs to labor and delivery, and this nurse, she was like, why are we admitting her? She's only 4 centimeters. Her water didn't break. And I'm like, lady, they just told me to come up here. Like, I don't know anything that's going on. She just took my chart, and I'm just like, go in here. Here's your robe. Change right there. I'm just like, okay. Like, she was just so mean. No compassion. Not even not even good morning. Like, how are you feeling? Are you nervous? Is somebody coming? Are you nothing? And I just kept saying, I would never want any woman, and more or less a teenager, to come in to have such a beautiful experience taken from them because they're such an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, she was just nasty. Just nasty. And I can't even say it was a race thing. I don't know. She was a black nurse, but I was like the worst feeling. I was scared, Like, I mean, granted, I was having a baby young, but
that could have been also the way why she treated you like that. Because
that's
she
what I
might have
thought.
even
Like,
said,
maybe,
"Oh, look at this another young mom."
that's how. But then again, here we go assuming. You don't know anything about me. You don't know anything about my family. Nothing, and you just. I don't know. That was like the word. I will never forget. I don't remember her name, but if you show me a picture, I can point it out to you. I will never forget that. I just felt horrible. It was just like, they told me to come up here. Like, why are you getting mad at me? This is your job. Yeah. And she was just so nasty. I'll never forget that.
That is terrible.
And maybe that's why I have so much compassion for people who are pregnant. Like, even this morning when I was on the train's not even like disgustingly packed, but this lady got on, you couldn't say she's pregnant. Nobody got up. I was like, you can have my seat. Like, I'm not going but so far anyway.
Yeah.
She's like, thank you so much. And I'm thinking, who are these people on this train? And they were looking at her like, oh, should I
who's
do
going to
it?
be the first one to give
Oh my God.
But I said, sometimes I feel like only people who have been through something can sympathize with that person. So now that I've been pregnant before, I had to come on a train before, and like had to stand the whole train ride. Yeah. It's like, somebody get this lady a seat. Mostly women would give me a seat, not men. Yeah. Women are ones that quickly jump up first. Yeah. But not this morning. I'm telling you, I saw the lady coming on, but there was, she wasn't that close to me. She was more like by the door. I was like in the middle. So I just thought that somebody who was closer would have given her the seat. So once I saw that the doors closed and nobody got up, I was like, you can come have my seat. Like, are you kidding me? New Yorkers. Yeah. That's true. They're so mean. New Yorkers are so mean. When you go I would say past Delaware. Good morning, ma'am. Hi, sir. It's like, hi. You need something.
When they say hi to you, like, don't make eye contact. I know. There's a reason they're saying hi.
That's sad, right? It's so sad.
Yeah. And Hanan, who did you write your letter to?
I wrote to Miss Monaco, the teacher last year.
Okay, yeah.
Who treated me very bad since day one.
Since day one.
I was substituting. And first day, I worked with her. The second day, they asked her if she wants me or not. She said no.
Wow.
And what happened is they didn't have enough people to work, so I stuck with her for 1 week. And she saw that I am working well. She liked the way I work, but she didn't like me because I am Muslim. So after a while, they asked her, she said, yeah, okay, she's working well. I like the way she was. But she kept treating me the same way. Like, she used to yell at me at things that I didn't do it. Like we had another para because since the class had more than 18 children, so we needed another one. The other one, so the
Yeah.
way the other one, she was she was Puerto Rican, and I think the teacher was afraid like treat her the same way, so
yeah.
she couldn't do anything to her and just only me. So if there is something wrong happen, even I didn't do it. Like for instance, one time sometimes I used to take the children to the bus downstairs. We were on fourth floor, and I have to take the children downstairs,
Yeah.
or the other para. So one time I took the children to the bus, and we leave them in the cafeteria. After that, I go back, take the other kids to the gymnasium, and the parents come and pick up the children. So all the parents pick up the children, and we went home. Second thing, we found out that one of the boys who was waiting for the bus, he fell in the cafeteria and hurt his. So she came to me, she yelled at me in front of another teacher and the other para, and I didn't know what she was talking about. So I was asking her, what happened? What happened? Why are you saying? She didn't tell me, don't forget about it, but like that. And she went downstairs and they told her that the boy fell, and they sent a note to the mom, and the mom was worried what happened. She wants to know, and why didn't the teacher tell me? So when she came back, she went and she asked who brought the boys. So she found out it wasn't me. It didn't happen even when we were in school. It happened after we left. So after she yelled at me in front of the children, the other teacher, and the para, she found out that it wasn't me. And she didn't say anything. So I just kept asking until I found out. I felt bad, like you should have asked me first if I was there or not. Like many things like that. Sometimes the other para, she goes to the bathroom with the children. We work with pre-K, so she forget one or two of the children.
Okay.
And after a while she comes, she asks me, where is that boy or what that girl? I was at the nurse, for example, and I come back and she's asking me, I don't know, I wasn't here. So she knows that her and the other para both were in the bathroom. They forget one of the children or two, and she's asking me like stuff like that, you know.
To make it seem like you're taking
Yeah, so I kept quiet. Of course, every day I go home very upset and sometimes crying. My husband and my children want me to talk, but I wasn't raised like that, like I talk back or answer back. So she felt like maybe I'm scared of her or something.
That's probably why she
And I'm
treated you
ignorant
like that.
person, something like she's just a man, stuff like that. Until one day, my daughter last year, when she was accepted to NYU, and they called me. She called me from home during my lunchtime, and she told me. So I was so happy. My friends found out in school, so everybody is coming to the class to tell me congratulations. So your daughter was accepted to NYU. I said, yes, why not? And she said later she found out that three of them went to one went to Stuyvesant, two went to Bronx Science, and they are like they accomplished many things in their lives, like working with NASA and published some stuff. She said, "Were you a child?" I said, "Yes," because she started to look at me different, you know, in different way, but it was already done.
The damage was done.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, so today is all about Frank Kafka. And he was the eldest child. He was born in 1883 in Prague. So he worked as an insurance clerk. And now, because of him and the short amount of works that he did write, the word Kafkaesque came out of this, which is his name. So when somebody says, oh, that book was so Kafkaesque, okay, so they're referring to our Frank Kafka. So these are the definitions. I found two. Okay. So it's characteristics or reminiscence of the oppressive or nightmarish qualities of Frank Kafka's fictional world, or describing something that is horribly complicated for no reason, usually in reference to bureaucracy, right? So I have this link for this video. We're going to find out more about our friend, our author. So you're going to find out a lot about him and possibly why he wrote what he wrote. Okay. But before I do, what does the word metamorphosis mean?
It's pretty
Change. Absolutely. And you saw the change within our main character. He changed into a bug. So it's either a beetle or a bed bug. That's what it was mentioned in the video. So it's funny because they say, you were saying you don't mind swapping a bee, stamping on ants and whatnot. But in a sense, if you look at society, aren't we like bees and ants? We're working hard, and then our money, most of it, a big chunk of it, if you add it up, right, the taxes,
Yeah.
they go to the king bee or the queen bee or whatnot, or the queen ant, right? So we're working for somebody, right? But
squashed.
yeah, and squashed, you know. So absolutely, that's the concept of him changing his character into an insect. That sometimes we work just like that, you know. We have our little colonies and whatnot. And we work hard, but not all the money we get to see. It goes somewhere else. Right. All right. So I'm gonna play this video. It's 10 minutes. We're gonna find out about our authors, and then I'll listen to what you have to say about the new information you've been given. Let's see.
Franz Kafka was a great Czech writer who has come to own a part of the human emotional spectrum, which we can now call the Kafkaesque, and which, thanks to him...
Okay, there we go. Now we're playing. All right, so here we go. So we learned a lot about our artist, our author, better yet said. And can you see the character that he created basically relate to him, his real life? Absolutely. Absolutely. So your task 2 is with the new information that you've learned about our author. Okay. Which scene can you connect to his reality in the metamorphosis? Scene or scenes, if there's more than one, you can choose that.
The scene that I connect
Yeah.
with is the scene from the beginning, the one that I don't want to get up.
You don't want to get
I
up.
don't
Yeah,
wanna get
yeah. You
up.
don't want to get
Well,
up. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
not because I don't like it, it's just because I'm tired.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And I wish even though I like my job, I wish I didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Just have the money and just do whatever I want.
Mm-hmm.
Travel, shopping, things like that. I relate to him.
You relate to him in that, yeah. I think a lot of us, right?
Run away from responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I need a rescue.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Yeah,
like
rescue.
I need the postpartum depression.
Yes.
I need a
Absolutely.
place just to be alone.
Yeah, to do what I love to do. Absolutely, absolutely. It's true.
The scene that I want to connect is the last when he was in his room not eating and like hungry and
Yeah.
he cannot find any food to eat. It's like when at the end when he like before his sister used to take care of him and
Yes.
give him the food and she was testing to see which food he likes and which food he doesn't eat. So at the end when she was tired of that and she didn't take care of him like before, so he did because he wasn't eating and because he knew that he was causing them trouble, so he was like at the end he was not eating because the night when he heard that he was causing them trouble, he died.
Yes.
So and he was trapped also in reality. He was trapped in his room and he was sick and he didn't find any food.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's hard to eat if you keep feeling pain, right? If, while it's going down, like you can't really enjoy it. It's just torture for you. Absolutely. All right. Gina, what about you? What do you think?
This book, just I told you it.
Yeah.
Just made me feel freaky.
Yeah.
It really, really did.
Hmm.
The scene that, that got to me, that stood out to me, was, as I said earlier, excuse me, was when the mom and the sister, cleaned out his room to give him more room, but he thought of it.
Her and she had the mouth was like wide open.
Yeah.
And the words that were there were all words that were damaging, like stupid and just things to make the child feel less of a person.
Yeah.
It was just like something to say, like, be careful what you speak over your children. So
Absolutely.
it's very true. It's like, like as a parent, what you say to your child, basically mold them to how they will feel about themselves.
Absolutely, absolutely.
How later on in life they may treat people.
Yes.
Or even their own children.
Mhm. It's true.
It could go like both ways. Like as a parent, you learn from that experience and treat your child differently, not wanting them to go through that, or you can just continue the cycle. Like I know when I was little, like I have dark elbows and dark knees. My father used to make me sit in the bathroom and scrub my elbows and my knees because he said they were so dirty.
Oh my God.
And to this day, like I'm very self-conscious about that, but I'm like, for a little girl to have to hear that, that's like very,
From a man.
Yeah.
very body conscious, I was always trying to like fix my nose to make it look more up, like it was, very, and I found out that he does that to my sister too, and she ended up getting a nose job,
Oh.
so
Yeah.
it's like,
No, these things stick with you. When you're a kid, absolutely. I mean, you remember a poem, The Incident. You remember you brought it. Yeah. I mean, this event just turned his whole day upside down. His whole trip to Baltimore upside down. Since incident with racism,
right.
Absolutely. I remember, what was it? I was watching a TED Talk, right? I gave it in one of my education courses that I was teaching in the spring. And in the TED Talk, the speaker, the lecturer, was stating how one little thing that you do with a child can make their day. So she was a speaker, and she was just saying how you have to spend time with your kids. You can't just say, hey, get good grades, whatever, you're just on top of them about their grades. So there was this example she used of this woman she met that her son always wanted to take the mother on a tractor trailer. They were farmers in like Europe or something. So the mom would just like say, no, you have to do your homework, right? So then after hearing that speaker's TED Talk, she came back for another session that woman was speaking in, and told her, you know what, I took your advice and I went on the tractor trailer with my son, and it made his day so much that, we do it like a tradition, and his grades have improved significantly. So something, that might seem so small to us is huge to them, right? But no, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, society, they have some norms for kids, right? Just like, oh, you got to get good grades to get to best schools. So, in our minds as busy people, juggling everything, we don't think about those little small things that make huge impacts on the children's lives. I mean, in your field as a paraprofessional, if you do a one-on-one, or even if you're working with multiple personalities, because all of these students have multiple personalities, but you can even see, you break down into the psychology level, and you're like, I know how to get the student to do something, and you kind of praise them or whatnot, or you see their strength, and you're like, I know you're really good at art, so if you finish this homework, you can draw me a picture or something, trying to get them to do their thing. So absolutely, absolutely. But I mean, the letter that Frank Kafka wrote to his father, 47 pages, So I had to write a small one, right? So, I mean, for something like this, he had a lot to definitely say. And for the mother to do what she did, what do you guys think?
Show
She was weak, they said, so she didn't have
Weakness.
to give it to him. He probably would have gotten on her.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. She didn't want to be the middleman. Yeah, take all the blows. Absolutely.
Another scene
Yes.
is the father.
Mm-hmm.
This father here was strict, and the father in the reality was strict too. Like
Yes.
in the beginning, when he found himself to change into a bug, he couldn't go out and open the door or see make his family see himself after the changes. It's the way things like same thing when he could not say to his father, no, the father was strong and had muscles, and he was weak like a skeleton, as you were saying.
Yeah.
Like he could not say no to the dad, or he cannot um, show tell him his reality if he's weak, or he cannot do it, or in reality, or the cannot show himself after he changed because of the father is strict in both.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's true. No, definitely. And you saw how, well, their main character in the Metamorphosis was the breadwinner. He was the one that was bringing the money for the family and everything. And then when he could no longer do, the breadwinning, his family had to, they had to get jobs. Absolutely, absolutely. Couldn't you say in society, sometimes these happen. This can happen to anybody, where you're working, you're doing your thing, and then something terrible happens. There's a lot of times, I know I have a friend that working, and then she got into a car accident that left her paralyzed. That changed her life completely around. Now you can't work, you can't bring the money home, so your life has to change with that too. Which, with the Metamorphosis, that's what it was all about, change. Our main character, he changes into a god, but that can be even symbolic. I mean, the author might have just wanted you to get into a mindset of this change that was occurring, and it could have been just something like, he just burnt out, working, and that was it. He was just done. He couldn't do it anymore. Yeah, so many things that happen with that. In many fields, you do get burnt out, with the job, and you just can't continue to go on. If you do, I mean, you're putting your health at risk.
But to me, actually, with the bank, once Capital One took over, we had goals that the branch had to reach.
Yes.
And then you had your daily goals. It was so much pressure on you. Like, before you even get to work, you've got to do this.
Yes.
Pushing products on people. It was really affecting my health.
Absolutely.
So the job ending was kind of like a blessing in disguise. I don't know how much longer I could have put up with it. I was so stressed out every day.
It's true. It happens. Absolutely. Absolutely. I know, especially in the field of modeling, they're always anorexic or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So they're putting their health at risk for the dream that they have, or the expectations that others have for them.
And that role has to be so hard, because although you could be pretty, there's always the next one prettier than you, or or
Yes.
some kind of feature that you don't have. So that's got to be tough too.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's an age limit.
Yeah, once you hit a certain age, then what?
Like, what do you do?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's true. With modeling, you hit a certain age, that's it.
That's it.
You're retired super early. You got to try to figure out how to make the money some other way.
Even with the Metamorphosis, if the parents were a little bit appreciative,
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
appreciate that you making the money, and even if he was burned out, he would not maybe change to a dog, maybe change to a dog or something.
Maybe change to dog or cat. Yeah, it's true.
They didn't appreciate him, and then even when he couldn't work, they were like, oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
They took him for granted.
Yeah, they really did.
And when they found that they had to work, I felt like they were like, hey, well, we can do this.
Yes.
And it's like, why, he must have thought, well, why didn't they do that before?
Yeah.
It's like always on me to support them.
Mm-hmm.
I would understand why he wanted to be above, just like
That's a lot of pressure taking care of 3 adult people.
Yes, absolutely. It's true. It's true. And it happens in life too, absolutely. It really does. Hanan, you had your example that you were saying earlier today.
The person who was supporting the family,
Yes.
over 30 years and
Mhm.
sending money. And American Dream made the boys didn't finish education. That's why they cannot find jobs over there. And they are depending on the money that he's sending. And since he went through like health problems, like heart attacks, diabetes, and stuff like that, he cannot afford like food.
Mhm.
Of course, they tried to come to the United States, but he couldn't. He didn't get the visa. So, and all the money went there. They just spent it on clothes and going out and girls and stuff like that. And took the money. They didn't do even something good for themselves to live
Yeah.
from, like depend on, or to leave him alone. They didn't. And at the end, he cannot afford to give like before.
Mhm.
And that's why some of them like for a few years, they don't like 5, 6 years, they don't talk, they don't answer the phones, like,
Yeah.
um, and still he feels bad for them that he cannot do. He's not blaming him. He's not blaming them.
Yeah.
Okay? But it's he's sick. A
Yeah.
person is sick. He has heart problems, heart surgery, and stuff.
Mhm.
And still they don't care.
They
They
don't
just want the money. They want
Yeah, I
Mhm.
remember
the
that
things
too.
that he
What
used
you're
to do.
saying.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
And
we have
this
the
is a
same
real,
thing.
real
Yeah, the same
story.
thing.
Like,
Oh my
But
God.
hey,
yeah.
it's like it's expected because you came here.
Mm.
Sorry, my husband is one of 7 brothers,
Okay.
so he was
One
the
of
only
7
one
brothers.
here.
Mhm.
So the same thing, he had to send money to his brothers there. They have a farm, they're farming, but it's not enough. So I told my husband, why don't you bring them here? Bring them here. So in 2007, that's when he brought his parents,
Mhm.
so they can apply for their kids.
Yeah.
So now he has 3 other brothers,
Good.
because now if there's a problem, if there's a $200 problem, it's $50 each. It's not
Yeah.
only one person.
Mhm.
And we are here now. You cannot say, oh, I don't have it,
Yeah.
because you're working.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because I said to my husband, it's not fair.
No.
I mean, you have a family here, and
Mhm.
that's the responsibility.
Yeah.
But the culture, it's a cultural thing that,
Yeah.
and he feels guilty. I'm here and the other there. Well, your older brother has 11 kids.
Yeah.
So they have to make way for themselves too.
And
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
some people here said, okay, I can only afford 2 kids,
Mhm.
because the third one is more money and everything. 11 kids, he knows that there's somebody overseas in
Yeah.
That would
America.
always be sending money back.
Yes. Absolutely. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, oh my God,
Yeah.
they're here.
They're here.
Yes, and no,
Oh my
how
God.
hard it is to
Yeah.
really,
They
In
know.
my case, they
Oh
are
my
not willing to work these jobs like in a restaurant.
No.
They are not. They want bigger jobs, like
Yeah.
sit in an office.
Yeah.
No, they are not willing.
No. They want everything handed to them. In a
Yes,
sense.
and now we have families and children, and
Yeah.
Yeah, back
I
home,
don't
they
get that,
just
like-
want to receive it.
Yeah. They
I,
want
I
to.
just, I can't see myself going out and having kids. Like, oh, my mother, she makes $100,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll take care of her. It's like, who does that?
No.
We do.
it's-
That's amazing.